As I pictured my honeymoon night, sobbing to my mom wasn't exactly on the itinerary, but there I was, freshly wed to Alan, in our marital first sexual encounter. Well, it was as lackluster as a deflated balloon at a party. I had visions of sensuality and excitement, but what I got was more like a speed bump on the highway of love. Alan finished his business and immediately planted himself in front of the TV, eyes glued to a football match in our Devon hotel. Romantic, right? So, in a moment of marital crisis, I did what any sane woman from the 70s would do. I dialed up my mom in tears, questioning every life decision that led me to this point. Mom, ever the voice of reason, handed the phone to Dad, who reassured me with the wisdom of a seasoned marriage counselor. Flash forward, and you'd think after 35 years and 5 kids, we'd have cracked the code to marital bliss and great sex. But alas, the big O, my orgasm, remained as elusive as a unicorn on roller skates. At 64, I've come to terms with the fact that I'm a rare breed, a woman who's never had an orgasm, with or without a partner. In a world where we overshare everything from our morning latte to our pet's latest haircut, female pleasure still carries a whisper of taboo, especially for us older ladies. I mean, statistically speaking, I'm not alone. There's a whole sisterhood of women out there nodding in solidarity, silently cursing their stubborn nerve endings. But let's talk about the elephant in the bedroom, the orgasm gap. While men are reaching the finish line with Olympic-level consistency, us ladies are stuck in traffic, honking our horns in frustration. You got that illustration, right? And now let's not even get started on the art of faking it. If there was an Olympic event for feigned orgasm, I'd had a gold medal gathering dust in my nightstand. You see, back in the day, I was a pro at putting on a show, like a method actor in a poorly scripted rom-com. I mastered the art of fake moans and gasps, all in the name of marital duty. But let's rewind to the 70s, a time when sexual liberation was as elusive as a parking spot in Times Square. Raised in the Welsh valleys with about as much sexual education as a barnyard chicken, my knowledge of the birds and the bees was limited. I was completely uninformed about sex. University was supposed to broaden my horizons, but fate had other plans in the form of a ruptured ovarian cyst. So instead of exploring ancient ruins, I find myself navigating the maze of adult life. I picked up a job working for the gas board. On the way to work, I met Alan, a charming older man with eyes bluer than a summer sky. Sparks flew, wedding bells chimed, and before I knew it, I was a blushing bride with a vow of celibacy until marriage. So when the time came for our first sexual encounter, let's just say the fireworks fizzled out faster than a damp sparkler on bonfire night. Fast forward through decades of dutiful lovemaking, and here I am, a seasoned veteran in the battlefield of bedroom boredom. Sleepless nights, snatched moments of passion, and enough fake orgasms to rival Hollywood's finest. It's been a wild ride. But through it all, I never gave up hope. Then came 50 Shades of Grey, a literary masterpiece that revolutionized middle-aged women's book clubs everywhere. Suddenly, it was all about BDSM and role-playing, and I was ready to dive headfirst into the kinky unknown. I ventured into uncharted territory with Alan. Role-playing, dressing up, you name it, we tried it. And while the big O remained elusive, the journey was nothing short of exhilarating. Then, just as we were hitting our stride, life threw a curveball in the form of Parkinson's. Alan's battle was courageous, but in the end, it was time to say goodbye. Single again at 56, I dipped my toes back into the dating pool, cautiously exploring new horizons with David. But old habits die hard, and the topic of orgasms remained as taboo as ever. Needless to say, I still haven't experienced the grand finale yet. So here I am, a seasoned veteran of love and loss, navigating the murky waters of senior singledom. And as I stand in a hospital coffee shop flirting with a charming stranger, I can't help but wonder, maybe there's still a chance for fireworks, even in the twilight years. But when he mentioned his wife, well, let's just say the fantasy fizzled out. I politely declined his offer for my number. I couldn't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe someday I'll find a younger man with the stamina to match my newfound sense of adventure. But for now, I'll settle for a good cup of coffee and the occasional flirtatious encounter. This woman went viral because of her hot mugshot. Her stunning arrest photo broke the internet. Check out this video for the shocking details.